They don't want a level of success where it's like, my wife doesn't like me. My kids don't know me.
They're thinking their mind, no, you didn't. No.
I find some of the youth is they're like, no, I will work hard, just not for that asshole.
Your confidence will be transformed when you hustle and you have that moment where like, I did this.
And so if you are a 1980s leader who is all like, oh, I tell them what to do and I don't give a shit about them and this is what they're going to do, they're not working for you.
I know you'll do the right thing. You said that the other day and my kids were like, why did he call you primetime? And I'm like, I don't know. Derek just calls me primetime sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was
I do know the reason why, but they would be like, why?
Why? Why does he call you? My cat, because we call him Wally all the time. And so, and then it's Wally Bolly Bing Bong. And so now every time I see the cat, I'm like, Bing Bong, get over here. It just always shortens.
Oh,
right?
Man.
Like my daughter went from Boo Boo to Bo. Yeah. Now she knows I call her Bo. And even her friends are like, why do your dad calls you Bo? Yeah. Like your name's not Bo. Yeah. And she goes, I know. Doesn't even start with a B.
And you're like, just trust that's what. There was a long road.
There was a long way to get here, and now that's what we call her, and it's fine. She's used to it now. She's 20 now. What's she gonna do? That's just her name. She knows it's what we call. But, yeah.
It is crazy. If you nicknaming your kids, you got to get out of the hustle.
You got to.
You know.
Yeah. It's you don't get nicknames other than that. But
speaking of hustle. Oh man.
It's your favorite magazine.
Yeah.
But no. Okay. Oh, that's funny.
They don't still make that, do they?
I don't think so. I don't know. I never knew.
Amazing.
Okay, let's get into it though. But let's get into it. I'm interested in your thoughts on hustle culture. I think there's lots of people against it right now. It's saying, okay, there's hustle culture and then there's hustle culture, and it's just, we all mean something different when we say it. And there's some people that'll roll their eyes at it, some people that won't roll their eyes at it. And I really honestly think that it's about redefining, because redefining hustle culture the 1980s hustle guy is screw it. You're 24 hours a day. Your family doesn't matter. It's what you're doing for them in the long run. You're building a legacy. Your significance, your need for significance is at the top. It's about getting all the status that you deserve or that you want or that you think you want. I think people are they're tired of it. I think people understand now that they don't want that. They don't want a level of success where it's like, my wife doesn't like me. My kids don't know me. All I was doing is working, and one day they'll understand. And now they're getting messages from an older generation saying they're not going to understand and they're going to hate you. Don't do it. Right. So I think that's wiser people have prevailed. Wiser, successful women, successful men that gave up a lot to get their success are now saying it's not worth it. Yeah. Don't do it that way. We created something cool. We got a lot of wealth, but you'll find that you're not exactly pumped about it. Yeah. So the hustle culture is in my redefinition of saying it's not that you're not going to have to hustle, because you are going to have to live those weeks where you're busting it. You're traveling a lot, or you're working really hard, or you're really kind of digging into something, and your family will forgive that if you're not always gone, I believe. And so I don't think it's about balance. I think if you want to change the world 9 to 5, I don't think it's possible. I think it's not balance. You're going to have to give up weeks or months sometimes. Yeah. You just have to make sure that you take a deep breath. And then you balance your life out in the fact of, okay, I'm work hard, play hard then. So if I've been busting it for 90 days, I've got to take a minute to now go reconnect and be married, reconnect with the kids, take them somewhere and be fully invested and fully present. And you do have to make sure that on a daily basis that you do check in, that you're just like non-existent. So, but you can do that in short spurts and in time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and I like that idea of it where you do have to hustle, but to make that who you are, like to say I'm hustling all the time and this is how I get my confidence,
Mhm.
then I think it's to a fault. And then yeah, your kids don't like you, spouse doesn't remember if you guys get along. Like those are the things that are like, okay, well, that was not worth it. And yeah, and you hear about the stories of people where they treat it like sacrifice. Where like, well, I'm the sacrificial person. Like I
Noble.
hustled for you.
Nobility,
Yeah.
right?
How can you hate me? I did this for you. And you're like, and they're thinking in their mind, no, you didn't. No, not at all. I didn't want any of this. Like I didn't
Yeah.
get to see you, Dad, or whatever, like whatever the relationship is. And man, that's not worth it at all. But I do like the idea of what you said of there's chapters in your year or chapters in your life, and you're gonna be hustling like crazy. I even think about, and you got to journey and walk along and cheer me on for the early parts of this year where I'm training for my ultra marathon, and I had to hustle. Like I had to work and grind in these hours, and then as soon as I get home, you're running for hours and hours and hours. On the weekend I'd be like, okay, I'm going for an 8-hour run.
Right.
Like that sucked.
Yeah.
And I didn't see friends, I didn't talk to my family on those weekends because I'm like, I can't unless you're gonna call me, but I can't come over for dinner. I'm running. And so I had to dedicate to that time, but I was then able to hit my goals while running. And now that chapter's over. Like my event is over and I can be more present again.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I got my weekends back. And I think because I hustled, I got to hit my goal. But also, even if I didn't, it would still be worth it. But I also then now appreciate these open weekends because now I look at the calendar, I'm like, oh, I don't have to run. This is amazing. This is sweet.
And you give some of that time back to your kids now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that they know, but it was healthy for them to see, oh, like Dad's really trying to accomplish something here. And
Yeah.
he's working really hard.
Yeah.
The kids need to see that too. That's what it takes. You got to work really hard. But then because you give it back, they know that you're going to give it back. Yeah. They're like, oh no, but then when Dad's done his goal, we're going to do some cool stuff together. And he's going to take us biking. He's going to take us out and do the things that we love to do, right? We're going to go travel. He's going to take us away for a weekend. They know that that's coming because that's who you've been in their life. But they're like, oh, this is just a cool goal. We're rooting Dad on. Yeah. Rather than this is just another thing that Dad does that he doesn't talk to us about, right? Yeah. So I think it's healthy that way too. But yeah, you're right. Like there is that goal where you're just laser focused, and I think that has to exist. And it's healthy for your family to know that you really care about something, and then you can do cool stuff, right? And you relate it to business, even you can relate it to, well, if we accomplish this, then we're all going to get this reward later, and we're all going to be together. But I really have to work hard on this now. Yeah. And that's something that I think I think there's a gap. There's a youth movement that they're missing that part. They're like, well, I can just kind of chill with my life and do what I want. And every generation is hard on the youth. So I have a lot of faith that they'll figure it out just like we did. Yeah. The people older than us thought that we were dumbasses and the world was doomed also. Yeah. Right. And we all figure it out. They will figure it out also. But there is this culture of I can work, remote, and I can just kind of go over here and I just have to make a video and you make money. And they're now starting to realize that that's not as easy as it's made to look. And so they're just kind of chilling. So I think there is a new embrace of no, but there is a hustle. There is a hustle. So hustle culture isn't dead. It's redefined. Yeah. Right. Like there's still a hustle that you need. Yeah. To do.
Yeah, and it's like the smartest generation. Like their access, whether it's their own intelligence or AI intelligence and everything that's around them, if you utilize that, you hustle with tech and with AI. Oh man, like this next generation could be superheroes, absolute phenom
for sure.
Yeah,
and some of them already have some that in the generational sense. Some of them they're getting some flack, but they do know that what their options are. And so if you are a 1980s leader who is all like, oh, I tell them what to do and I don't give a shit about them and this is what they're gonna do, they're not working for you. And then they go around and tell their friends, well, these kids don't want to work. No, they don't want to work for you. Yeah, because you haven't learned how to lead anybody. You think that just yelling down their throat is the way to go because that's how it was for you 20 years ago. Well, that leader needs to go away also.
Yeah.
And so I find some of the youth is they're like, no, I will work hard, just not for that asshole. Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not for somebody not letting me have a little bit of autonomy or trusting me to get the job done, or just wanting to micromanage, down my throat all day. Like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I think this generation also does. They understand that they have options.
Yeah.
And that there are good leaders out there that give them a little bit of life flexibility in exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll give you some autonomy if you work hard. We'll give you some autonomy. You can have it. You can have a kind of a cool life where we trust you with your day to day, because we know that here's the deadline. Here's the work that's required. If you got to stay up till 2 a.m. and do it, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
But here's the deadline, and we need it done, and we need it done well.
Yeah.
The whole generation is willing to do that if they get a bit of an autonomy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think.
And they might make the same kind of mistakes that maybe you and I had done. Like I remember in years past, and you and I would be at the office so late, and I got so involved and hyper focused on success and what I had defined at that time. And then you start like, I don't even like who I am right now. I don't like my life. And I got really frustrated about it. And you get into this vortex. So I understand how when you're hustling that you can get trapped in it and you don't even know how to get out. It's like the self-perpetuating wheel where the next thing, whatever your business is, the next thing arrives. And like, oh, I gotta tackle that, and then you're available and you're still working. Like, oh, I might as well tackle this. Like it is like this wheel that keeps going. And then for me, I remember when I first read about Jesse Itzler's idea, where you map out your calendar personally, and then you fill in all your business stuff. Like, here's my personal life. Here's what I wanted for my year. So this year looks like this for my family and I. And then you build your work schedule around that. And then that was the key for me, because then if I put all of this stuff in my calendar, then I could hustle, but I had to stop because I already had this personal thing in my calendar. And that was like the game changer for me. Right. I was like, oh, thank goodness I had my personal life built first, because then I would have maybe kept on hustling. I know myself too well that I'm like, I love work. Oh, man, I could keep on going. And you could probably too. Yeah. Where it's fun. I love succeeding and making people happy and solving all their problems and making money. Like, all of it's exciting, but oh man, to be able to have that forced interruption and just taking Jesse's idea and actually implementing it, oh my word, game changer for me.
Or even something to look forward to, because sometimes when you're hustling and you don't know when it's going to end, that's when you start getting miserable. You're like, when does it end?
Yeah, true.
But if you're really pushing it hourly,
yeah,
and then you're like, no, but I got this cool trip with my wife coming up,
yeah,
and I can't wait for that, so I'm just gonna push till then. And then I got this cool family holiday, so when I come back, I gotta push it again. But we got this really cool family thing that we're doing, whether it's a vacation or whether it's just time being spent.
Yeah.
And then the day to day, I think it's just depending on what age your kids are at, just don't miss the moments, because you can always sneak out an hour. You can always sneak out 2 hours. Yeah. So if they have a sports game, or they're getting an award, or they've got a recital, don't miss that shit.
Yeah.
Because you can always afford an hour or two. Yeah. So don't, if they remember your presence, and as they get older, they need you less and less, because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're pouring into friends and exploring who they are and what they really think of the world. But if they always look over at game day, if 90% of the time on game day, or 90% of the recitals, or 90% of the big moments where they're getting an award, they look over and they see dad, they're totally good with you hustling. They actually admire it, because they're like, no, but when I needed him, or when I wanted him there, he was there. Yeah. And so that's the important part, I think, for and then you can push it, and then you got all these cool things to look forward to, I think. Yeah. But that's and that's, it's easier said than done. I think we can be reconstructive historians when we say, well, when I started in business, I woke up at 7 a.m. and I grinded right till midnight. And then the reality would be that if people worked with me when I started being a mortgage agent, they'd be like, you came in at 11 and you left at 5:30. Like, you came in at 11, went for lunch at noon, and then left at 5:30, right? Like, they're like, that was your first 3 months. It wasn't until you really started to. And so in our brain, sometimes we also, as an older generation, we can we can totally embellish how we believe we were.
Yeah.
That we had our shit together. No, and we all know that we were all in. Every person in their early 20s is a dipshit. and if they don't admit it, they're liars, right?
Yeah.
Because we were all dipshits.
Oh,
we
yeah.
all didn't know what we were talking about, but we thought we did.
Yeah.
And we all thought we had a good grasp on the world, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And so I think that's sometimes the older generations are so hard on the younger too, because we're lying to ourselves about how it used to be, or how more
our
put
perception
together.
is a little bit like it's a little bit blue sky.
Yeah.
And you're like, it wasn't though. There's a lot of clouds and storms in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you only remember those good moments, but there's a lot of you were an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, you were dumb.
Yeah.
Right? And that's part of it.
Yeah.
I think you have to embrace it. You kind of should be dumb.
Yeah.
A lot of cool memories come from being dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about so somewhat related is even just for my kid when I'm talking about working hard and hustling and like having a goal in mind, whether it doesn't matter whether it's business, running, whatever the goal is how much do I express to my own kids, because they're 10 and 7, my boys, and I sometimes wonder how much to be able to share that part of it, like what's relevant to them. Am I getting preachy? I want to like do it well, but I want to let them know that a lot of confidence in all of us as humans comes from the successes. Like you need to be able to, that achievement or that success will then create the confidence. Confidence doesn't just, you can't just like look in the mirror and like, today I'm confident. You know, like it doesn't work like that. So sometimes I found that I needed to hustle, grind like crazy, be unavailable for a section of time, a month or two or whatever, in order for me to be able to have that achievement, in order for me to be the confident person I am today. And it's all part of my story. And I, because the kids are like, Dad, you know, like you're running so much. And it's like, I know I need this part of it though. And so I want to let them know as well, like these are huge confidence milestones, even for me as an adult. And you're going to go through there as well. So I need you guys also grind at school, grind in like the sports that you take on, because that will, it's not just for the hustle. You're becoming a different person. Like that confidence is going to transform who you are and how you even see yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you did with your kids, but I'd be curious to hear what you did, is because I look at, you know, your one daughter is already an entrepreneur. It's really cool, but she must have seen or heard, or both, that your confidence will be transformed when you hustle and you have that moment where like, I did this. I actually, I pulled this off.
Yeah. And the effort, I think the message, I mean, she's always been a motivated kid. But I think the message that she saw lived, like I lived that life, her whole life. Yeah. Right. I started the year she was born, right? Like I started kind of doing that as self-employed before, but I actually started making something of it the year that she was born. And but I think she kind of saw that, but it was all effort. Like I was always like that was always the message to my kids. The result really isn't as important to me as the effort is. So if I didn't think you put in a lot of effort, then we were fighting. But if the result wasn't great, but I saw a ton of effort, well then we learned something, or maybe that's just not your thing, or maybe you know the interest wasn't there. But I think the messaging too of the kids, but they're gonna watch you more than they're gonna listen to you, right? So it's just, well, that's how, you know, Dad lived his life not working for anyone, and I kind of liked we got to go whenever he said we could go, right? Like. Nobody could tell him he couldn't go. If we wanted to take a family holiday, we went because he wanted to go, right? Like and so we had kind of complete freedom, and I think that was appealing. And then her motivation, you know, that was it's same thing as you still got to hustle, and you're gonna be somebody different. So I'm like, you do this now, you'll be unrecognizable before you're 30,
right?
Unrecognizable, and you're gonna spend your life broke in school. Or you can spend the next 5 years building the business broke. Either way, it's not a wrong answer. It's whatever you want. There's no wrong answer. It's just whatever you want to do. But either way, you're going to be spending the same money, and you're still going to be broke. Yeah. So just decide which one you want. Yeah. You know, and if the chips are down, and yes, we were in a spot that, you know, maybe could help, right? Then it's, you know, that's kind of nice, you know, for somebody to have a leg up.
Yeah.
just to be able to kind of help it out. But we're not doing that much. I mean, it's all on her. She's got to pay the bills. And and for a kid for that to take, we are teaching her what we started talking about, which is the hustle.
Yeah.
She's working. She still has to hang out and go be 20 years old.
Yeah.
And so you serve on the weekends and you run your business during the week, and you hustle.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to work 14 hours, but be good at it, care about people, and you will keep learning as you go. And I can already see a huge difference in 6 months. As she's 6 months in, and 6 months later she'll be someone else. It should be someone else 6 months later, should be someone else 6 months later, but always growing. And I think that it's even helped me. There's lessons that I've learned in watching the beginnings of it and realizing, oh man, there is all this fear and all this uncertainty and all this, and that's a lot for a 20-year-old to take on.
Oh yeah.
So I'm proud of her for it. But like you said, how much do you come preachy? The hardest thing I think for all of us is you let them go. Like sometimes I know what she needs to do, but I'll always comment and be like, I don't have the right ears yet, because if I tell her now, she hasn't experienced enough pain yet, because it's kind of going okay.
Yeah.
So I need the right ears. Yeah. And if you keep harping, it's you've heard me quote it all the time. One of my favorite quotes is, if it's unnecessary to say it, it's absolutely necessary that you don't say it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you're like, I could tell her this, but this is 20-year-old business brain about to tell 6-month business brain.
Right.
They're not going to hear it the same way. They've got to live this a little bit. So I got to let them, and it's hard, because you got to bite your tongue and be like, no, I just got to let them do it. You got to let them do this, because they got to have this experience, or else they're not going to know what adjustment to make.
I'm laughing right now because as you're describing your relationship with your daughter and like this business, that's exactly what it was like with my dad and I. I remember he wouldn't tell me advice when I first started. He would just be like, well, I know you'll do the right thing. And you can just probably hear my dad say that. I'm like, I don't know what to do in this. You know what, Graham, you'll figure it out. You'll do the right thing. And is almost, in other words, he let me figure it out the hard way. So there was a ton of roadblocks and failures and like things I stumbled over. And I'm grateful for them all, because it brought me to who I am today. But he didn't bail me out, and he didn't say, go do this. Kind of like what you're doing right now. Is that he knew, he probably would say those same things, like, well, Graham had 6-month business years, so it wouldn't have made a difference if I told him regardless. Yeah. But by him saying, I know you'll do the right thing, it was like this idea, like, I raised you well, Graham, so you know in your heart what you need to do. And it's funny, man, like I did. I knew that I need to call that client back. I know I needed to be at my desk, and I'd be in the basement of that old building that we were in, and I would just sit by the phone, and I'd be bored out of my mind, no files to work on. I'd be sitting there with my putting green, just practicing putting, and I'm like, but I can't go home. I need to be here. I told my dad, he's like, I know you'll do the right thing, which is being at the office and like, don't mail it in. Yeah. Stick it out. Yeah. Keep grinding. Yeah. Yeah. Wait it out. Call the people that you need to. Yeah. Yeah.
Do the work. You know what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right. And keep kind of progressing through all of the business and the ups and the downs because I think it's important that people, and I still go through this, and now 47. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to be wrong. I don't want to do it your way and you be wrong, and me being able to tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
I want to be wrong. So I then I know it's on me. Mm-hmm. So let me try and do it this way. And not that I'm not taking advice or this, but let me try and do it this way, because I believe this is going to work. Yeah. And I want to be wrong on my own accord. And I think the kids might not know that, but that's the part for the kids, is that you be wrong on your own. Yeah. On your own account, so that then you know what move to make next. And I'm here to advise and to support as we go. And so, yes, there's lots of things that we've taken that we hear and in mentorship, and then there's stuff that we need to go on. But then that then in turn creates kind of the entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. I think that's you got to teach them that's how to be.
Yeah, I like that. That's sweet.